Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to day 6 of the 10-day wire earring making challenge. So today we're making some super funky geometric earrings with beads, and what you're going to need for the project is 18 or 20 gauge wire, your earring hooks, a variety of beads. I have from 4 to 6 to 8 millimeter. These are miracle beads, and you'll need your tools. So the first method I'm going to show you to make these earrings is using my earring hack, where you take the two wires and put them together, and you want to leave enough for the height of the earring plus the little loop at the top. So what I'm going to start with is I'm just going to hold them together, and with my flat pliers I'm going to bend it at a right angle. Now you want to really push it so it makes a nice sharp bend. And then you're going to take it to at sort of like the first place where you want to bend it. You're going to hold it here. It's not so important like if you know you have exact measurements, but you do want to make sure those ends are held properly together. So hold it in your hand and with the pliers, and you're going to bend it up at a right angle. Okay, so we're just doing right angles here, and then we're going to take this, and wherever you want to do the next bend, just hold them snugly together and bend it again at a right angle, so over here, and then just wherever you want it to be bent on the other side, hold it here and up, bend it straight up, another right angle, and then we're always going to the back here so they won't get tangled up, and we're going to take that one and bend it. Now this one, it would be nice if it's not quite as far as that, just to make it a little asymmetrical. So we're going to hold it here and bend it up. And now you might want this space to be a little bigger to hold the 8 millimeter bead. So we're going to take that and then bend it. And I see how I really push it with my thumb to make sure like it really gets nice and flat. And then this one, we're just going to bend it like a little less far than that. And this I'm really doing by eye, but in the second method I'll show you a way to do it if you have trouble with your sense of like depth perception or measurement perception. And so here too, like if it slips, you want to make sure you're holding them in place. And then we're going to do one last bend over to the left. So we're just going to bend it like that. So now we have our basic design here, and then at that point you can separate them. They should be able to separate, you know, quite well like that. So we'll separate them, and then you want to make sure your bends are like nice and even, like make that a little more vertical if you have to, bend it around. And then for that, now you're going to put your beads on there. So we'll get our beads, and I'm just going to follow the pattern I did with the first one. So we're going to do a 4 millimeter bead first, and then the 6, and then the 8. And you're going to see we're going to be able to secure them so they don't slip up and down like that. And then we're going to take the other 6. So right now they're not like well positioned because they're going to go back and forth, but what you want to do is sort of eyeball where this is going to be, and you want, like, say this wire, vertical wire, to be centered between that end and that end. And what I like to do is help it with my pliers, because I find if you don't give it a start with the pliers, it'll slip. So we're just going to hold this here and then bring this around. So now we've got our starting point for that bend, and it's careful not to nick it with the pliers. I pushed it a little too hard, it got a little nicked, but that is just takes practice. So now make sure you have one bead in between each like area there, and then when you like hold this tightly, and when you twist this around, it's actually going to get like stuck like in there, so the beads will get secured within those areas. And then clip it, and then make sure this is sort of the height that you want, like make sure it's nice and even. And then to give it a little extra help to stay in place, just give it a nice gentle pinch there, and then you can form your loop at the top. So what I like to do is hold this with my round pliers, bend it to the left, bend this around to form your loop. Now this is a little stiff. This is 18 gauge wire, so you can also try it with the 20 gauge if you find this too stiff. So we're going to bend that around a couple of times and then clip this, and then as always you can just like pinch in your ends like that, and you'll see it's fun because the beads kind of stay in place. Now if you want the other one to be a mirror image, that's no problem. So you're going to take this wire and bring it around to the other side, and then that way they're going to be mirror images, and then you can go ahead and add your beads like we did before. So now we have our two that are mirror images, and we're just going to take our hooks and attach them on there. That one, and then one on the other side, and there we have our beautiful geometric, very funky earrings. Lots of potential for this design. Now if you have trouble with the dimensions and you need a template, you can always get some graph paper and just sort of map out some little dots where you want to bend the wire. And you could go the next step and cut this out and glue it on some wood and put some little nails on there. Or I even made little jigs where I just take some sponge and stick some pins in it. I'll link up a couple videos below to how to make your own jigs. And so what you would do for that is you're going to place this so you have enough space to make your hook at the top, your loop. And this is aluminum wire, so it bends quite well. So we're just going to like go around, and I always like to jump past the nail a little bit so it just makes a clean bend. Same thing, so jump past it a little bit and bring it down. You have to make sure that you're like holding it so it stays down. So this same thing, like just go a little beyond the nail when you go. It just makes a nicer, cleaner bend up here too. And this wouldn't work as well with the artistic jig because the pegs are too thick. So this works really well with either pins or nails, and you'll see it makes like a really nice kind of clean effect. And then we're going to remove it from the jig. And if your wire's a little springy, it's a little difficult. It probably would be really good with the artistic copper wire. So we'll go ahead and put our beads. We'll put a little one, and then a 6mm, and then the 8, and then another 6. And then like we did before, we can just kind of like center the beads where you want them. If you need to like start that with the pliers first, you can. Otherwise you can just hold it very, very firmly and then just wind that around. Make sure it's in the right position. Then we'll just clip the end, and we're going to make sure like these are in the right position that you like, and then just form your loop at the top, and then you'll be able to add your earring hook, bring it around, give it a little clip. So you have two options, either with the jig or without the jig, and it makes a funky little earring. Thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to join the Facebook group, we have the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club, where we share all kinds of photos of our work and inspiration. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelries. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to join my mailing list, you can sign up. I'll put the link below, and I'll send you my free Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks so much for watching. If you're joining the challenge, be sure to join the Facebook group, and if the challenge is over, no worries, you can still join our Facebook group or check out the event page for creations that people have made in the challenge. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.